It's the pride of Southern University, the human jukebox, the band for the Southern University Jaguars, as Southern University welcomes Florida A&M to Mumford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Hi, everyone. Welcome inside Mumford Stadium, along with Eddie Robinson Jr. I'm Dwayne Ballin. This is one of those rivalries that was broken up in the early 2000s, but it's back on track. Everyone's so happy. Great history here.
Yeah, this is a great rivalry. Like you said, this goes back to the days of Jay Gaither and A.W. Mumford, two of the legendary coaches in all of college football. It's great to see these two institutions back on the playing field once again.
And for Florida A&M, they arrive at 4-2. Big difference from last year. Biggest difference probably on the defensive side.
Yeah, the defensive side of the football, they're playing extremely well. The guys up front are getting it done, but also you look at Kier Hall and Curtis Holcomb, each having 3 interceptions apiece. The linebackers improved play also. Vernon Wilder and also Alvis Graham, number 41. A total defensive improvement by the Florida A&M Rattlers.
And they will have their hands full. On the other side of the ball for Southern is a total offensive leader in the SWAC, Bryant Lee, the Jaguars quarterback.
Yeah, Bryant Lee has been great. As a redshirt sophomore, you look at his numbers in 2007, a great passer, but also is very good at running the ball. This year, preseason all-conference quarterback in 2008, and he's been improving week to week. You look at his numbers, they're great, but the thing that I like about him most of all, 36 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. Just a great, efficient player that does not make a lot of mistakes.
This is one of the most anticipated HBCU games of the season. We are so excited. You're going to see a couple of great coaches, very successful. Joe Taylor, over 200 wins. And for Southern, Pete Richardson, very close to win number 200. He'll get there. They'll match wits when we return. Southern, Florida A&M on ESPNU.
'76.
Both of these teams enter this game 4-2 overall, and we are underway from Mumford Stadium. They kick it low, they keep it away from Van, and that is going to set up Florida A&M with excellent field position to begin the game at the 45-yard line of the Rattlers, a 15-yard return. Eddie Battle will be the starting quarterback for Southern. The Jaguars shuttle quarterback, so he starts this series. You'll see Curtis Pulley on the next. Battle is a sophomore, 6'2", 215 pounds, had 163 yards in that 23-0 win over Winston-Salem last week. He averages 126 yards passing per game. Keep your eye on number 5. Kevin Elliott is his favorite receiver. Opening series. Battle looking to throw. Completes it. That's Taj Jenkins, the tight end, 11-yard pickup. The rest of the Rattlers offensive unit, that offensive line is anchored by number 60, Anthony Collins. He's the second-team MEAC performer, a junior from Miami. And the backs and receivers, we mentioned Kevin Elliott, also Philip Sylvester, number 30 in that backfield. They would like to get him going a little more. First down for the Rattlers after that 11-yard pickup. They are now into Southern territory. Battle has a man open across the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Defensively for Southern University. Up front, keep your eye on Vincent Lands, number 33. He's the all-conference performer. Linebackers are led by John Malvo. 40 tackles, are 7th in the SWAC. And defensively in the secondary, this unit has really stepped up. Glenn Bell leads the way with 36 tackles. 2nd and 10 for Florida A&M. Snap is over the head of Battle. And Philip Sylvester will fall on it. A big loss and miscue for the Rattlers on a 2nd down. That sets up 3rd down and a mile, Eddie.
Yeah, 3rd and impossible for FAMU, and a huge break for Southern University because they gave up great field position with the squib kick, but now just the center puts it well over the quarterback head, and Philip Sylvester has to do the smart thing and just cover the ball up.
So what do you call here? What do you try to do?
Well, if it was me, I'm going to call a draw or screen and just get out of this series and punt, because there's no way you can convert in this situation. But you never know what FAMU may have in store.
Joe Taylor's offensive coordinator is Lawrence Kershaw. We had a nice chat with both of them earlier this week, but this is not where they wanted to be on the opening series. 3rd and 34. Drops it off to Sylvester out of the backfield. and it's a safe play, Eddie.
That's all you can do in that situation. You don't want to make one mistake and compound that with a second mistake, so you just have to get out of that situation and move on and play some good defense.
So William Platt will come on to punt. He is a freshman, averaging 36.8 yards, has 13 this year inside the 20. His longest is 58. Back to receive is Dell Roberts, number 1 for Southern. They very nearly got to it. They did. The Jaguars come up with the big block on special teams. They recovered the fumble, but did Florida A&M get the ball back on a change of possession?
Well, it's going to be Southern's ball either way. It doesn't matter who recovered, but that's just a huge play by Southern University to come up with a block punt. They started off good on special teams last week against Texas Southern University, and if you're FAMU, you can't go on the road and make those type of miscues on special teams.
Charles Booker, number 89, a senior from St. Francisville, Louisiana, comes up with the block. Big break for Southern University in the opening moments here in Baton Rouge. So now Southern University with Bryant Lee under quarterback. First offensive set, rolling right, under pressure. He's going to keep it, and he'll be knocked out of bounds. Lee has 1,532 yards passing so far this season. He's a red shirt from Butte, Louisiana, 6'2", 205. Last week he had 305 yards, a couple of touchdown passes, and ran for 116 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he leads the SWAC in total offensive output and is 5th in rushing. Pickup of 10, set up a first down, 1st and goal for Southern. Lee keeps it and barrels his way down close to the goal line.
Has a touchdown.
So the Jaguars strike, capitalize on the mistake.
And that's what Brian Lee does well. But he adds another dimension to this running game. His 4th rushing touchdown on the year. Here is just a quarterback draw. You get the lead block up inside by big number 78 Lee Almanza and 75 DeMarcus Stewart, and Lee just pretty much goes in behind those two guys and gets the early lead for the Southern University Jaguars.
Duran on for the extra point. It's blocked. So far, special teams for both teams coming up with blocks. Bryant Lee gets the Jaguars on the board first. Southern leading it early on, 6-0 here in Baton Rouge. Josh Duran now set to kick away to Leroy Van. Not sure if they're ever going to give him the opportunity to actually return one. This time they do. He fields it at the 15. He's up the middle. Has a seam. Flag on the near side, but Van is off to the races. Touchdown saving play made by Austin Thomas at the very end for Southern. But
well, there's a flag on the play which will probably call this back, but I tell you, the experiment of kicking to Leroy Van is over with. He doesn't touch the ball anymore.
Holding against Florida A&M. It was a 70-yard return, folks, but you got an opportunity to see what we were talking about. He is the most electrifying return man in the SWAC.
Holding, 55, return team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Gregory Edwards heads up our officiating crew tonight, including William Gant, Otis Webb, Jimmy Brooks, Anthony Fleming, and Wes Booker.
This is just called a middle wedge. That is a textbook wedge. You look at the big guys up front, they're knocking down everyone, and then Leroy Van uses his speed to get through. I think the hold may be on number 55 in the middle of that scrum. Alfonso Walker, middle linebacker, just trying to make a good block, but you see the explosiveness of Leroy Van. 3 return touchdowns this season, 2 kickoff returns, and also a punt.
Van just 5'9", 185 pounds. Anxious moments. Now in at quarterback is Curtis Pulley. We told you that Joe Taylor and his offensive coordinator, Lawrence Kershaw, will rotate quarterbacks on every series.
Offside, 56 defense, made contact, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Ron Ferdinand a little anxious for Southern. There is Curtis Pulley, transfer from the University of Kentucky. In last week's win over Winston-Salem, he had 126 yards and a touchdown. Out of the shotgun on 1st and 5. Tucks it away, decides to run, has a first down and more. That's what Pulley does best. He's tackled by Glenn Bell, pickup of 15 yards. So, Eddie, what we're going to see this evening is that two-headed monster for Florida A&M, the dual quarterbacks.
Yeah, but if you look at Eddie Battle and Curtis Pulley, they really complement each other because one is more of a passer, the other one is a runner. So if you add their numbers together, they're comparable to the great quarterback Bryant Lee of Southern. It should be a very great contest, and we'll have some very good quarterback play tonight.
Pulley, a 6'4", 200-pound junior from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Shotgun, he's under pressure, drops it off. In and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Kevin Elliott. That's that talented freshman wide receiver.
If Kevin Elliott could have caught this ball clean, once again you see a bad snap from the center. They'll have to get that fixed, but if he can make this catch, look at the room he has up in the middle of the field.
Center, number 51, Kwame Akabila. He's a substitute. Pulley again tucks it away, has room to run. Another first down, and he's still on his feet. Still on his feet, bowling over Southern defenders. Finally escorted out of bounds by Austin Thomas. A 32-yard pickup for Curtis Pulley.
And we talked to Coach Pete Richardson. As you can see, Pulley, he's getting an incredible amount of time, but what he does best is when no one is open downfield, he can tuck it in. Look, he turns into a running back at this point, running over Joe Manning, who has 33 tackles and leads this Southern team, but still, Pulley, a very efficient runner. You have to know where he's at all times.
That sets up first down for Florida A&M at the Southern 12. Pulley out of the shotgun.
Move up. Back up.
Under pressure from the edge. Has a man. 6 points, Florida A&M. Demetric Henry, 16-yard play.
Great job of responding by FAMU. I mean, this Southern crowd is extremely quiet as they drive down the field under the legs of Pulley and now throwing in the air. It seemed like it's just a blown coverage by Southern. They were trying to blitz from the backside. No one covers Demetric Henry coming out of the backfield. Easy touchdown for the FAMU Rattlers.
William Platt will attempt to give Florida A&M a 1-point lead. And it's the Rattlers who now lead it 7-6 here in Baton Rouge. Pulley was doing it on the ground, then he went to the air for 6.
There are better days to meet us where we stand. They are gathering in clouds and spreading out over.
When it's people who do the right thing, they call it being responsible. When it's an insurance company, they call it Liberty Mutual.
Florida A&M leading Southern University 7-6 here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Time for our Bergwood On Location, brought to you by Allstate. Florida A&M co-defensive coordinator Earl Holmes has memories of playing in this game, and he shared them with us.
My name is Earl Holmes. I'm the co-defensive coordinator here at Florida A&M, as well as the linebacker coach. And what I remember about the rivalry is each and every year was always a sellout crowd. In fact, The game got so big to where we had to start having the game over in Atlanta, Georgia. The rivalry has numerous guys like myself who played there. Adelis Williams played there. Bob Hayes even played there. So a lot of guys out of both HBCUs that made it onto the NFL has played in this classic game.
Tailgate with Bergwood at bergwood.net. And when we spoke with Coach Holmes earlier in the week, he had some pretty bad memories from this series.
Yeah, he told us that he lost in the regular season, but he also lost in the Heritage Bowl 2 times to Southern University.
Dale Roberts back to receive the kick. And he makes it just over the 15-yard line. 7-yard return. Overall series history, Florida A&M has the upper hand, leading at 32-25-1 the last 2 meetings. In 1998, then of course came the break. 2000, that's what happened. Then the break, and then they resumed it last year, 2007. Florida A&M won those contests, but last year Southern got back on top.
Yeah, and this is one of those series that you definitely should play every year, and both of the schools are committed to making this an annual rivalry once again.
It's such an intense rivalry, the coaches told us. And Coach Taylor, who again is in his first year here, came to realize just how important it was to everyone involved. Under pressure, Lee releases, has a man out of the backfield. That's Kendrick Smith, the running back. 9-yard pickup. A look at the men up front protecting Lee. The one to watch is DeMarcus Stewart. That's senior from Nuremberg. He's a preseason all-conference performer. Backs and receivers. Jamar Stewart, number 88, is the man that is Lee's favorite target. Kendrick Smith across the left side. Defensively for Florida A&M up front. Draminsky Wilson. He leads that line. He has 23 tackles. The linebackers are headed up by Brian Parker, the sophomore from Randallstown, Maryland. And in the secondary, keep your eye on number 1, Kier Hall. 19 tackles and 3 interceptions. Rolling to his right and overthrowing his receiver is Lee. He was looking in the direction of Clevan White.
Yeah, we talked about that FAMU defense being much improved from last year. They've increased their interception total, sack total, and they're creating a lot more turnovers than you saw from Earl Holmes. Of course, he played a number of years with the Pittsburgh Steelers and was a great defensive player here. So when you have some of those returning players who went on to that great NFL prominence, it just puts that emphasis back on the program. This defense has really turned the corner. Of course, they pitched a shutout last week against Winston-Salem State.
Ball on the 27-yard line of Southern. Jaguars trail it here in the first quarter in Baton Rouge. Out of the shotgun is Lee. Man across the middle, but excellent defensive play for Florida A&M.
Curry Allen on the reception.
Southern University wants to get the running game going early in this football game to set up the pass, but Brian Lee, this guy is so efficient, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. He's able to read the blitz coming up the middle and get the ball out of his hands.
Fabian Wilson, number 38, was right there for Florida A&M. So it's 3rd and 8. Lee under pressure, releases it. Probably a little too high for Stewart.
And we talked to the FAMU defensive coaches about how you're going to stop Brian Lee, and it seems like early on they're going to try to bring pressure. You saw a blitz up the middle on 2nd down, and now 2 guys coming off the edge to make Brian Lee have a quick decision when he gets the ball in his hand.
On comes the all-SWAC punter, Josh Duran. Waiting is the very dangerous Leroy Van. Ideally, you just kick it away from him, just nowhere near where he can catch it. Van, it's blocked. And Florida A&M special teams come through in a big way. Touchdown, Rattlers.
The hometown crowd definitely did not expect this. You saw FAMU get back into the game with an early score, and now the big special teams play with the block punt. And they were able to scoop and score. Number 55 is getting credit for the block, Alfonso Walker. And the Rattlers take an early lead and stun the hometown crowd at the Southern University.
And Edmund Baker, the redshirt freshman from Miami, recovers for the touchdown. And now the Rattlers have an opportunity to go up 14-6, and they do.
I'm not sure I want to do this anymore.
I'm done with you.
The distance, it takes its toll.
I need to go faster.
I don't know. I'm at a crossroads.
Your relationship with running has you caught in a twisted tango between love and hate. You thought about leaving it more than once. Renew your love for running. The New Balance 805 and exclusive 830 running shoes.
I guess I'm not done with you yet.
Now at Dick's Sporting Goods.
When you're a rock star, you get to...
You're watching ESPNU College Football, Florida A&M versus Southern University from Munford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our coverage. Joe Taylor's Florida A&M Rattlers with a great goal line stand leading at 14-6 over Southern. Get all your college football information on ESPNU Monday and Tuesday. First Monday at 7 Eastern, Lowell Galindo, Mike Gottfried, and Tom Luganville deliver Inside the Polls presented by 76. All season long, we'll break down the polls and dissect the hot topics of the day. Who's overrated, who's underrated, and who deserves to be number one. Then Tuesday at 1 Eastern, Lowell hosts Coaches Spotlight presented by Liberty Mutual. See and hear how a team is doing straight from the head coach as we bounce around the coaches' press conferences from all around the country. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Eddie Battle and the Florida A&M Rattlers offensive unit is now backed up in its own territory. Battle under pressure, gets out of the end zone, but barely before he's greeted by a host of blue jerseys. This is the other side of a goal line stand where your offensive unit takes over. You see John Malveaux, number 49, leading the charge along with Vincent Lands, number 33.
Yeah, most coaches are content to run a couple of quarterback sneaks, but here the gutsy call, you're in the shotgun and you give the quarterback the decision to make a play out of his own end zone. Battle smartly was able to run out of the end zone and not give up a safety for the Rattlers.
Got back to the original line of scrimmage. Here is the second man out of the backfield who has running room. That's Sylvester, sophomore from Marianna, Florida.
You know, Dwayne, even though we saw Curtis Pulley come up in here and really move the offense and get him into the end zone, they're going to rotate quarterbacks regardless of how each player performs. So it's Eddie's Battle turn to come into the football game. Hey, we're backed up on the 1 yard line. It's his series and he gets to go at that point in the game.
As a player, what do you feel about that? Because there's so much to getting a rhythm under one quarterback.
Well, I think you can also get a rhythm if you have the certainty of knowing that I'm going in every other series. And both of the players have pretty much approached it that way and have excelled in this format.
3rd and 4, Florida A&M's third down conversions, 50%. Battle under pressure, knocked down, still got it off. And Kevin Elliott had his hands on the ball, but what pressure from the Jaguars defensive unit.
Yeah, great time of the game to call a blitz. I like that. If you're the Southern University Jaguars, if you have a team backed up inside the 5, you're thinking scoring on defense, whether it's safety or forced fumble. There you see Vincent Lands, the all-SWAC performer, coming around the backside and putting the pressure on Eddie Battle and forcing that bad throw.
William Platt now in his own end zone to kick away to Del Roberts, who's waited at midfield. Low snap, it's blocked.
The second block of the game. Charles Booker, number 89, gets there to get the block for Southern University and the safety. The low snap may have caused this, but Southern University, 2 block punts today, another one last week. Great job by this special teams unit.
And that one is good for 2 points for Southern University, a safety. But Florida A&M will now have to kick off to the Jaguars. Special teams are ruling this night in Baton Rouge.
It's just amazing special teams play. We've seen 3 block punts already in this football game, and Southern University has 2 of them, and that one cost the Rattlers 2 points.
Jamal Titus with the block. A junior from Baton Rouge, 5'7", 185 pounds. That's one way to make an impression.
So you look at Coach Pete Richardson and also Coach Joe Taylor. I mean, these are 2 of the best coaches in college football, and I know both of these guys stress special teams, discipline, performing well, and not making mistakes. But we come out here tonight and we see 3 block punts, and we're still in the first quarter.
Joe Taylor scratching his head probably a little bit here. Roberts takes it at the 15. Tries to break outside, gets away from a tackler, and is pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line, a return of 20 yards. There have been miscues and great plays by special teams.
Yeah, you get the block punt by Southern University early on, and that leads to a touchdown by Bryant Lee, calling his own number, getting another rushing touchdown on the year. Then FAMU said, hey, we have a block punt team also. We block the punt, and we don't need our quarterback to score. We're going to pick it up and score ourselves. And FAMU takes advantage of special teams, and then Southern University, they come back with the 3rd block punt of the game, and they get the safety for 2 points. Wow, that's a very amazing special teams plays already in the first quarter.
So Bryant Lee gets another opportunity to try and score with his Jaguars offensive teammates. Stewart with the reception. Some fancy footwork along the sideline, but he tried to go in after he went out, but that's a first down. 11-yard pickup. Stewart has arrived here by way of Southern Miss. Miscues tonight, we just talked about it. The 3 block punts, the blocked point after, the 1 interception, 1 fumble loss. If you're special teams coaches, you feel like you've been pretty effective so far. Lee out of the shotgun. Ball is tipped. He was looking at Stewart.
Well, I don't know if you're a special teams coach, it's almost a draw, because if you're Southern, you block 2 punts, but you also got 1 blocked yourself. So both teams need to improve on special teams tonight, because there's just a lot of miscues in that area of the game.
Jason Beach with 33 tackles was one of the players applying pressure as they brought a safety blitz. You mentioned it earlier, but Florida A&M is giving Bryant Lee a lot of defensive looks that he's not accustomed to seeing, doing a good job of mixing it up. 2nd and 10 from the 46-yard line of Florida A&M. Marcus down.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 4, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
That's Corderius Gregory, sophomore from Charlotte, Ohio. Southern University really hasn't gotten on track offensively, had the 1 drive but stalled at the 1-yard line. 1:12 remaining in the opening quarter here in Baton Rouge. Lee has a man across the middle. That's a first down. Savan White.
Look at Brian Lee. Good job with the protection up front. Just running the post route. Right in the middle of the field, he gets inside the defender, and Cleavon White is able to make the big catch going down the middle of the field.
That 21-yard pickup. Brian Parker getting in and getting to Bryant Lee before he could really get anything going. Parker, one of those transfers from Arizona Western Junior College. Was 35 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 recovery. Very active as number 57.
He was one of the surprises that Coach Taylor pointed out, having a very good year.
2nd and 12. Has Stewart over the middle and more. Big pickup for the Jaguars. Bryant Lee playing pitch and catch with his receivers.
Yeah, he does that. I mean, this guy can throw the football. He has some guys like Jamar Stewart who have some great run after catch ability here. Once again, he was able to get inside the receiver, running that post route, and the safety is going to have to come into play and help out. You have to hit those guys when they're coming across the middle of the field. Too much throw and catch right down the middle of this Rattler defense, and no one is paying the price for it.
And that 25-yard pickup will be the last play of the first quarter. 3 catches and 43 yards for Jamar Stewart, number 88, so far in this game. But Bryant Lee and his teammates trail it 14-8 here in Baton Rouge. We'll return to Southern University after this.
signing up for digital phone service through your cable provider? Do you really think bundling with your cable company is saving you money? You've been bundling.
It's time for Vonage.
When you bundle, that low promotional rate expires and your bill goes up. With Vonage, your rate starts low and stays low. Sign up now with Vonage and get 1 month free. Enjoy clear digital.
1-800-417-9022. Call now.
Florida A&M leading Southern University 14-8 as we begin the second quarter. Joe Taylor in his first year in Tallahassee, but this man has a storied career already, one of the most highly regarded men in the profession, over 200 career victories. And the man he's matching wits this evening against, Pete Richardson, is also highly regarded. The titles, 5 of SWAC titles, 4 HBCU mythical national titles. And Eddie, you're not going to find 2 more outstanding gentlemen and better practitioners of coaching than these 2 men.
And it was so ironic when we interviewed both of these coaches. They almost had the identical thing to say about each other, and they said that both of the coaches are consistent, their players are always prepared, and they do the right things. They've been doing the right things for a long period of time. They're very good friends and very good competitors also.
Southern is 1-2 in the red zone so far this evening. 1 touchdown and 1 stopped on downs. Of course, that goal line stand by Florida A&M. There is a flag in the area of where Bryant Lee, the quarterback, went down. Wait to hear from Gregory Edwards. Costly mistake by the Rattlers. Maybe some over-eagerness after the play was over.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. 91 defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's Marquise Raymonds, 6'5" sophomore from Bayside, Florida. And that allows Southern to move the ball down to the 7-yard line. First and goal for the Jaguars, who trail it here 14-8. Lee rolling right. Has a man. Touchdown, Southern University. Kendrick Smith out of the backfield on the score. Scoring play of 7 yards.
And that's what happens when you have a very good team like Southern University. You commit a personal foul, you give them an extra 10 or 15 yards on the penalty. The Jaguars are able to convert, and they're the mascots running into the goal post, and it's excited tonight. Is he going to get up?
Might be a long night. Extra point is faked. And that's just ugly. It's Kendrick Smith, the man who just scored.
Yeah, misdirection play. Here you can see Kendrick Smith coming out of the backfield, and Lee is really patient with the ball. I think he was looking at the wide receiver first, then came back late to Kendrick Smith for the score, and Lee notches another one on his belt. Another touchdown pass for his great Southern University Jaguar career.
That's the 3rd touchdown for Smith this season. Lee's, and we're all even, 14-14 here in Baton Rouge.
And if you're just tuning in, you think it's a 14-14 game with the offense is scoring points. But we've had 3 block punts. We had special team scores. We had a safety, but still some kind of way we got back to 14-14. And the Jaguar mascot is feeling good once again.
It has been unconventional. 7 plays, 65 yards, 1 minute, 52 seconds. Completed with Lee going to Smith, 7 yards. And we are where we began the game. 14:51 remaining here in the second quarter in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with our entire ESPNU crew. Eddie Robinson Jr., I'm Dwayne Ballin. This is one of the most intense rivalries in all of college football. And this is one of the most dangerous return men in all of college football, Leroy Van. Ball pops loose. And Southern appears to have it. Now, he may very well have been determined to have been down before that ball popped loose.
Or his progress had stopped. I don't know. I think they may have blown the whistle if the knee wasn't indeed down.
That is the case. So it will be Florida A&M's ball.
This guy is a fearless returner, and you have to be brave to return kicks at this level.
Wow, I'm not sure about that, partner.
Because his progress was still moving forward. His knee definitely was not down, and of course there's no replay at this level, so there's nothing Pete can do about it. But he doesn't like that call, I can tell you that.
1st and 10 for Florida A&M. Curtis Pulley now in at quarterback. Nice play, nice pickup for Florida A&M. That's Kevin Elliott. We called his name early and often. 10-yard pickup, 1st down for the Rattlers. Florida A&M University shares Tallahassee with another little school. Founded in 1887, enrollment 10,500. Nickname, of course, the Rattlers. They are wearing their orange and green with white jerseys this evening. This is one of the best universities in the country. At one time, it led the entire nation at every level with merit scholars. That includes the Ivy League schools. Second man through. Gets down to the 45-yard line. Defensively, Gary Chapman was there. Levante Page, the ball carrier. He's a freshman from Douglasville, Georgia. He's a short yardage player, so that's most of the time when you will see number 32 is in those situations.
Yeah, I think what Coach Taylor wants to do is just settle his team down. Let's just get some good downhill running plays out of I formation and just try to move the down the field a little bit and not get any mistakes.
2nd and 5. Man in motion is Elliott. Page once again. This time he has room. Breaks outside. One man to beat. Touchdown saving play is made by Toyin Akinwale. Because otherwise, Page was off to the races. A 35-yard pickup.
And I think he doesn't like that moniker of the short yardage back. He wants to be the main guy here. I mean, look at this big hole right up the middle, but he has some speed to get around the corner. And good cut right there in the block downfield. And Southern University is on the ropes.
First down for the Rattlers. Dangerous pass, but it was caught. There is no fear in Pulley. 6-yard pickup. Reception by Adrian Smith.
Yeah, Pulley with the 3-step drop, but he almost throws like a catapult shot and just has too much air on the ball. If you can have a 3-step drop, you have to get it to receiver faster. So that defender can't react and not put a big hit on your receiver.
See Florida A&M inside the red zone. The 22 possessions, 13 touchdowns, and 4 field goals. Still on his feet and finally being drugged down is Levante Page, who is making a name for himself with a 9-yard pickup. You're right. I don't know that he looks like a short yardage back right now.
Yeah, but the freshman from Douglasville, Georgia, number 32, Page, is running very determined, and that's exactly what you need. 3 rushes for 49 yards already on this drive.
So it's 1st and goal for Florida A&M. The opportunity to take the lead with 12:19 remaining here at Munford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. These two heated rivals are where we thought they'd be, deadlocked. Great defensive surge led by number 71, Joseph Selders, the big junior from Clinton, Louisiana. And we do mean big. 6'2", 318 pounds.
Yeah, but the big guy, he knows how to play defense, and he got up in there and made a very big stop for the Jaguars. We'll see if he can make another one on this 2nd down play.
So the transfer from Kentucky, Curtis Pulley, the opportunity to try and get a score for Florida A&M on 2nd and goal from the 5. Tucks it away, decides to run with it. Not the greatest decision right there because he was met hard by John Malvo and Alan Baugh and company.
And one of the things we talked about from Southern University, you have to be aware of which quarterback is in the game. So here you're playing zone, even on the goal line, and you have to do that because you have a guy that doesn't mind pulling the ball down and running. You can see all those linebackers were focused on the quarterback. So when Pulley pulled the ball down and tried to run, he was met by Malvo, Ball, and Chapman, who were waiting for him.
Malvo exhorting the crowd to get on its feet here at Mumford Stadium. 3rd and goal from the 3 for Florida A&M. The surge defensively was led by Vincent Lands, and it does not appear as though Page got into the end zone. He didn't. Lands, an outstanding preseason all-conference performer from Baton Rouge.
There you can see Lands, number 33. What a great play. He comes underneath the block of the tight end Max Purcell and just makes that play on the big 3rd down stop for Southern, forcing FAMU to kick a field goal.
So on comes Trevor Scott. 4 for 7 in field goals this year. 3 for 4 from this range. 19 yards. Count it. Florida A&M takes the lead. 17-14. Thanks to the freshman, Trevor Scott. Joe Taylor says, hey, I'll take it.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
5 feet from the hole right here.
Hey, big fella, want a cold one?
Yeah, that's it. Come on, you can do it.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
You know, science.
Joe Taylor and the Florida A&M Rattlers leading at 17-14 with 9:59 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Lace up your skates for college hockey on ESPNU next Sunday as the Boston University Terriers take on the New Hampshire Wildcats. It's a New England battle on the ice. Hockey on ESPNU Sunday at 5 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. That last drive, 9 plays, 69 yards, 4 minutes and 42 seconds, and the 19-yard field goal from Trevor Scott. And on that drive, Levante Page, 50 yards rushing. Was this his coming out party?
It may be. You have to remember that Philip Sylvester, the sophomore, who's a starting running back for FAMU, was kind of banged up, so he may still be injured a little bit.
Dale Roberts waiting to kick. Ten-yard return. Southern University right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, in southern Louisiana. Founded in 1880 in New Orleans, actually. Enrollment just under 10,000. Nicknamed the Jaguars, Columbia Blue and Gold. But this university also has a lot going on. There is a Southern University Law School.
Yeah, I mean, Southern University is just in this area, this region of the country is just been very involved in the community, just putting out a lot of good students and also a lot of good football players.
One of those is in the shotgun formation, Bryant Lee, number 16. The handoff goes nowhere. Great defensive work by Florida A&M. Brian Parker, we're calling his name quite a bit, but number 57, you understand why he leads the Rattlers in tackles.
Yeah, leads them in tackles, sacks, also forced fumbles. That lets you know the type of intensity that this player plays with. And
despite being a linebacker, right?
Hey, a linebacker, you have to be the leader of the team.
My old linebacking partner here. 2nd and 12.
Pressure.
Markers are down. Lee trying to get away. This all may be coming back. Lee is 5th in the SWAC in rushing.
And the signal is offside against FAMU, so the play will count, but just a great job by Lee of recognizing the blitz. That was Leroy Van coming untouched.
Offside. 58 defense. That penalty is declined. Third down.
Look at Brian Lee. You have Leroy Van. He's a cornerback. He's an athlete too, but he just whiffs. He sees him coming from the backside, makes him miss, and is able to get upfield. And we have to teach him how to slide. Let him visit with the baseball coach next year.
You know, it appeared as though Darryl Roberts was running a little basketball screen for Lee on that play.
If you talk about Lee, I mean, this is a guy who doesn't lead with a whole lot of talk. He's not a rah-rah quarterback, but he's definitely the leader of this team, and he's understanding his role at the quarterback position. A couple of weeks ago against Alcorn State, he had a situation where instead of sliding, he tried to take on one of the Alcorn State defenders and was literally almost knocked out of the football game. But he showed the toughness to return a couple series later and went on to win that game. And that really showed the team the type of toughness he has. He leads by example and not by talking.
Under pressure, he gets it away and connects with his receiver, who is whacked. But the reception is good to Brian 3, but he sure paid for it. Anthony Shutt. 27-yard pickup for Southern.
Look at this pass. The running back Brian 3 coming out of backfield, matched up against the linebacker. Great touch by the quarterback, and Brian 3 able to hold on to the ball and take the big hit.
Southern now in Florida A&M territory. Rolling out is Lee. Gets it out to Cleveland White. Well, there's no love lost between these teams.
I like that. Referee said, hey, both of you got to punch in. Now that's enough. Standing 8 count. Let's get back to boxing.
Miles Williams of Southern and Joseph Weems of Florida A&M exchanging pleasantries. 2nd and 1. There have been 8 different receivers catching the ball in this game from Bryant Lee. Flags fly.
Holding against Southern University. You know, we talked with both of the coaches.
Holding, 76, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
It's Miles Williams, the senior from Upland, California.
Yeah, but, you know, Dwayne, we talked with both of the coaches because this is a rivalry that was discontinued in 2001. So we didn't know if the players would have the level of intensity because they haven't played each other on a regular basis. Also, although the rivalry goes back a couple of decades, but it seems like the players understand the importance of this football game to both of these fine universities.
This game started in 1940, but we do know that they heard from faculty, from alums, from the coaches. They fully understand after just 1 year of this what this rivalry means. Reception goes to White to pick up of maybe 4. Good defensive work by Florida A&M.
You know, as you start adding teams to the conference with the MEAC, they're trying to expand, and FAMU's schedule will not permit this game to be played next year, but they're hoping to get it continued once again in 2010 because they do have a 4-year contract. So it would be great if we can see this game played on a year-in and year-out basis with a home and away schedule. It'll be a treat to the fans.
5 receivers for Lee in this formation. Has one open. Gregory, touchdown! Southern University. 32-yard strike. Cordarius Gregory.
And I tell you what, number 4, Cordarius Gregory, has something that no one can coach, and that's just pure speed, because he caught that ball at around 8 yards and just outran everyone in FAMU's secondary to the end zone.
We'll hold our breath as the extra point is attempted. We've had a number of blocks in this game on punts and on punt afters.
And that was a bad snap, too. That ball was laying on the ground. They were lucky to get that through the uprights.
But he was able to get it through, was Josh Duran. So the conference's leading scorer helps Southern to a 21-17 lead. Lee to Gregory. 6 more for the Jaguars.
If you're looking for a comeback story that's full of heart.
If you need anything, like money or something like that, don't you hesitate to call me now.
You're not my father, Floyd.
She said what?
Keep looking.
You knocked up my wife. Over from me first. I can't stand.
For these two soul men.
My eyes. I'm sorry, man. I don't
21-17, Southern leading Florida A&M. You're watching ESPNU College Football presented by Citi. The Rattlers of Florida A&M and the Southern University Jaguars, one of the most intense rivalries in all of college football. Southern University band here is on hand. They're feeling pretty good right now as their Jaguars have gone up 21-17. We'll be talking to the drum major for the Southern University Jaguars in the second half, part of our campus connection.
Of course, the bands are so much a part of the atmosphere of HBCU, Southern University, the Human Jukebox. They're one of the best ever. And FAMU, unfortunately, didn't bring the band. I was really looking forward to seeing that matchup at halftime.
We were a little disappointed. I ran into Dr. James Ammons, the Chancellor of Florida A&M, at the airport last night, and he informed me that the band didn't make it. And,
didn't make it.
You know, they're 400 strong, and we were looking forward to seeing them at halftime. So the field's going to belong just to the Human Jukebox.
I'm saying, tell you what, they can fill up a halftime performance. They don't need any help.
This
kick.
time they squib it. They don't want Van to get it, but he does anyway. And this time they nail him. 8-yard return, but boy, was Justin Fletcher, the freshman linebacker, ready when he ran into number 7.
That's what you have to do when you have a dangerous return guy. You have to mix it up. You can't just kick a high ball down the middle of the field and let him take advantage of it. You have to squib kick and do some things different in order to keep him contained.
Eddie Battle will lead the offensive unit out for Florida A&M. If you're just joining us, Florida A&M rotates quarterbacks on every series. Battle is a sophomore, and Curtis Pulley, the transfer from Kentucky as a junior, will come in on the next series. Battle with time to throw, but not enough. He's going down. Joseph Selders and Don Holloway and Vincent Lands, all three converged on the quarterback. Loss of 7.
Eddie Battle's trying to bake a pizza back there, and you're going to run out of time. You can see Vincent Lands coming around for his 3rd sack of the year. And
Vincent Lands has already graduated with a degree in biology, an outstanding student, trying to make up his mind exactly what he wants to study and what kind of doctor he wants to become. And you have an inside track on that, do you not?
Yeah, I mean, Vincent Lands is just a great kid.
2nd and 17. Battle has a receiver, but Lands is the epitome of what that phrase student athlete is.
Yeah,
he's outstanding, and the coaches couldn't. Pete Richardson was just glowing about it.
Yeah, you talk to Coach Pete Richardson, say he really attacks books the same way he attacks the football field. I mean, this guy took the MCAT. He was talking about going to be an optometrist and went to Meharry Medical School and did some things during the summer. So you really like a guy that has the epitome of a student athlete and really understands what life is all about.
Preseason all SWAC, came into this game with 30 tackles. Certainly has no problem seeing where the quarterback is. It's 3rd and 8 after that pickup of 10. Battle gets the high snap, under pressure again, gets it away, has a man. He's wide open. Look out! Touchdown! Adrian Smith, the sophomore from Lakeland, 71-yard play. That's one way to regain the lead.
Yeah, the Rattlers are making some big plays here on offense. Look at Eddie Battle sitting in the pocket, reading the defense. This is what he does best. You get a wide open receiver, he's not going to miss that play. Southern with the missed tackle may have gotten away with a clip downfield, but hey, give Rattlers credit for coming back with another big score.
Extra point is good. So Adrian Smith, his 4th touchdown reception of the season. He has 3 catches for 87 yards tonight. This one covers 71 yards.
Are you ready?
You're watching ESPNU College Football, Florida A&M versus Southern University from Munford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our coverage. Pulley under pressure. Gets it away, has his man. Defensively, Michael Williams was right there. So Adrian Smith was not able to break that one into a 71-yard pickup.
The Jaguars a little bit tougher on defense on that play, but you can see some of the play design for Pulley. A lot of play action. Allow him to get on the edge of the defense. You have a guy that's that talented as a runner. He can put a lot of pressure on your defense when he's on the edge with the ability to throw or run the football.
Florida A&M now into Southern University territory. Pulley will keep it, but he is bulldogged down. John Malveaux at the bottom. What do you think so far of this dual quarterback system and the way these two, Pulley and Battle, have played tonight? What are your impressions?
Well, I really like it because it puts so much pressure on the defense when you have two quarterbacks who are effective, but their styles are so very different. You have Battle, who's more of the drop back passer, is not going to run a whole lot, but then you have Pulley, number 11. This guy can really get it done on the ground, but still an effective thrower. So you add those two players together, and I tell you what, the overall passing efficiency of FAMU as a football team is #1 in the MEAC.
And Battle was the incumbent. So Pulley comes in as a transfer from Kentucky, and you would think that Battle would, first of all, resent this, and he would not want to see Pulley succeed. But we found out this week that's not the case at all.
Yeah, talking to offensive coordinator Lawrence Kershaw, he says both of the quarterbacks have been pushing each other. They're two high-character guys. Battle did a really good job of helping Pulley learn the offense. So you like that when you have a player who realizes, I'm going to do what's best for the team and not what's best for me as an individual. A very good team player in Eddie Battle.
Battle on the right is a sophomore. Pulley is a junior. Does this continue next year?
I think so. I mean, you have a competition in the spring naturally if one guy is superior to the other. If not, if it's not broken, hey, why fix it?
Florida A&M 1 for 4 on third down conversions. He still managed to get it away to Adrian Smith.
Yeah, but that was just an all-out assault.
But Vincent
by
Lands
number 33,
had him.
Vincent Lands. I mean, he turned the corner extremely fast, coming from the backside. He had him wrapped up. Just look at the strength of Pulley, though, to stand in the pocket and still get that ball off with the completion.
And he gets whacked by Don Holloway also. Going back to the dual quarterback situation again, does it really help you that you know that you're going to play every series? Every other series? 4th and 1. Florida A&M going for it. And they appear to have enough for the first down.
Good job by FAMU getting up quick to the line of scrimmage before Southern University can diagnose exactly what was going on. But to answer your question, I think it does help. Because you have the consistency as a player to know that I'm playing the next series. I don't care if the quarterback just went 10 for 10 on the drive and had a touchdown. I know I still get the next series. So as a player, you kind of get into your role and you know exactly what to expect. And I think that's what's made this successful. So give Joe Taylor and also offensive coordinator Lawrence Kershaw credit for making the two quarterback system work for the Rattlers this year.
How hard is that on the offensive line, in particular the center?
Well, I think it is. Everyone has to adjust to it, but you get used to it because both of the players are getting reps in practice. So I think, if anything, it's harder for the defense because defensively, I have to know which quarterback is in the game. And that's the first thing you have to do if you're Southern University so you can adjust to the two different systems of the two quarterbacks.
We're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, along with our entire ESPNU crew. And Eddie Robinson Jr., I'm Dwayne Ballin, Florida A&M and Southern University here at Munford Stadium. This is a great rivalry. Florida A&M wearing the white jerseys, Southern University in the all blue. This is the 8th play of the drive for Florida A&M, which is trailing 24-21. It's the big tight end, Taj Jenkins, who refuses to go down. And at 6'4", 225, it's hard to bring him down.
He did get out of bounds because now the time is a factor at only 16 seconds. So we'll see if FAMU is going to try to set up for a field goal or maybe take a shot or two at the end zone. But great determined effort, realizing the position he is on the field, and also the situation of the football game, that getting out of bounds is more important than getting a couple more yards.
They should have time for at least a couple of plays before they attempt a field goal.
Can't take a sack.
2nd and 4. Has a man open. Kevin Elliott, touchdown! Florida A&M, 34 yards. That's efficient use of the clock in the waning moments of the first half.
That is very efficient use. And remember, Pulley is the quarterback that's supposed to be a more efficient runner. But wow, great job of throwing the football. But Kevin Elliott, give him the praise for getting this ball into the end zone. He did a great job of run after catch, putting FAMU ahead at the half.
His 4th touchdown of the season. William Platt on for the extra point. So it's Florida A&M that now leads, 31-21. FAMU up by 10.
You see the pressure on Eddie Battle, but he stands in the pocket. Great job of throwing the ball. But then Kevin Elliott, he's able to outrun the Southern University defense. Southern did a poor job of tackling. They had people in position but couldn't make the play. And of course, Curtis Pulley, touchdown pass. Who wouldn't like that?
Young man transferred from Kentucky. He was Mr. Football in the state of Kentucky in 04. 9 plays, 83 yards, 34-yard pass from Pulley to Elliott. 3 minutes, 26 seconds. We now have 7.4 seconds remaining in the first half. Joe Taylor and his Rattlers are doing quite the job tonight against Southern University. And frankly, we probably thought Southern had the advantage going in.
Absolutely. I mean, you're playing at home. Look at this crowd. Look at this atmosphere. You would think that Southern University, being the more veteran team, would take advantage of that. And they did early. They had the 2 block punts, and they had some good things happen on special teams. But now they still find themselves behind by 10 points at the end of the second half.
Both of these teams are in the top 10 of the SBN Black College poll. Dale Roberts dancing around, trying to find running room outside. Finally stopped at the 40-yard line by Jonathan Sanders. First 2 quarters are over here in Baton Rouge. Pete Richardson has to figure a couple of things out because his Southern Jaguars trail the Florida A&M Rattlers 31-21 here at Mumford Stadium. We'll return with halftime activities after these messages. Welcome back to Mumford Stadium, where Southern is trailing Florida A&M 31-21 here in Baton Rouge. Now it's time for ESPNU's Campus Connection. The Campus Connection is designed to get the pulse of the campus through student-generated content. Tonight, we speak with Fitzgerald Baptiste, who is a senior and is the drum major for the Human Jukebox. Welcome, Gerald, your kinesiology major. Tell us, how has being a part of the Human Jukebox impacted your life and your experience here at Southern?
It's been an amazing experience for me personally, because, you know, I started in the LLIs. It was an all-star band in Louisiana, and they sort of like drafted me from there to bring me to college. So it's affected my life a whole lot, and it's keeping me focused, mainly for the future, preparing for the future.
We'll get back to you in a moment. We'll take a look at this play, and Eddie will chat with you in a moment. Southern with the ball, incomplete pass.
Well, Fitzgerald, tell us, everyone knows about the hard work and dedication and the practice hours to be a football player, but it also takes a lot of practice time to be a very effective and good band member like you guys are. So tell us about the amount of practice time you put into this, and also about your selection process to get into the Human Jukebox.
Well, basically, when it comes to practice, we practice for results and not hours, you know. So we maybe get out there and we focus, we concentrate on what Mr. J has to say, and basically what he has to do for the field show to make it, give it that punch, and we just go out there and drive and blow, and we give it all we got. And that's how we come up with the good results we have.
Well, you are fun to watch, and we want to thank you, Fitzgerald, for joining us. You're the drum major for the Human Beatbox, for the Human, excuse me, Jukebox, my mistake. But now it's time for you to do your thing, so strike up the band.
All right, I got you.
Right after this play, we don't want to get Southern into trouble. Lee across the middle, has a man open. That's Dale Roberts still on his feet. He could ring up 6. Touchdown, saving play. I know you'll love it for the band now. I'd like to thank Fitzgerald Baptiste and the Human Jukebox for joining us. 68-yard play sets up Southern within striking distance. Bryant Lee tries to keep it. He does, but doesn't get anywhere. He's met quickly by Cameron Houston.
Wow, what an exciting play by Dale Roberts. Of course, he's the kick returner. He just made 2 or 3 people missing. Now he has Southern University in business inside the 10-yard line. That first play was, of course, a mistake. Someone went the wrong direction, so we'll see if they can overcome that with 2nd and goal.
Lee rolling right, will keep it, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Jaguars. 8-yard run.
I tell you, Dwayne, Bryant Lee is quite a competitor. 2 touchdowns passing and also 2 touchdowns rushing on today. This kid knows how to play the game of football.
And the Jaguar faithful here in Baton Rouge love it.
Puts him right back into this football game.
Point after is good by Josh Durant. And it's 31-27. There is a flag down on the field. So Southern University gives the Human Jukebox something to play for. They trail at 31-28 here in Baton Rouge. I'd like to thank Baptiste for joining us. We'll be back after these messages.
Difficult for you.
You're watching ESPNU College Football, Florida A&M versus Southern University from Munford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our coverage. Came into this one with 449 yards and 4 touchdowns through the air. That Selder's all fired up, leading the charge defensively, number 71 for Southern. Philip Sylvester on the carry, who started this game at tailback, but Levante Page, number 32, came in and electrified the crowd for a bit.
Yeah, but this guy, man, he's a 318-pound guy. He's showing some speed, shooting that gap and coming there and making a big play. From Baywood, Louisiana. Yeah, he has the crowd hyped. 3 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks on the year. We'll see if that gets this Jaguar defense energized.
So a 2nd down, Pulley moves into the shotgun formation, has 3 receivers, 2 split to the bottom of your screen. Pulley decides to keep it. He does this so well. That's a 1st down for Florida A&M. But there is a marker down, and it's coming back. 12-yard pickup, but it's no good.
Holding, 75. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
That's Robert Okafor, junior from Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah, Big Robert got caught with his hands outside of the framework of the body. He's a junior from Wolfson High School and actually is the cousin of Cheeky Okafor, who plays with the Arizona Cardinals, so very good pedigree.
So Pulley now faces 2nd and 20 from his own 30-yard line. 4 receivers deployed for the Rattlers in this set. Pulley will keep it again, tucks it away. Still on his feet, has a 1st down. He is so dangerous.
And that goes back to what Pete Richardson talked about. You have to realize which quarterback is in the game. Just because they're in the 4-wide formation, it's a design quarterback draw. They're just trying to spread out the defense, and then you let Curtis Pulley go to work. Look at him do damage, picking his way through the Southern Jaguar defense for a first down, overcoming that holding penalty by number 75, Robert Okafor.
Well, Okafor and his mates have done a great job adjusting their blocking for the different types of quarterbacks that they have in Pulley in battle tonight. That's a first down. Vincent Lands, number 33, got up and said no going there. They weren't going to allow Mr. Sylvester just to run through with impunity past the defensive line.
Yeah, Philip Sylvester, he started the football game. He's the leading rusher for FAMU, but he didn't play much in the first half. So we'll see. He should have some very fresh legs if they elect to use him quite a bit in this second half. There's a guy that hasn't had many touches so far tonight.
4 rushes and just 10 yards for Sylvester in this game. Pulley has a man out of the backfield.
Joseph Selders once again. I mean, this guy.
He is everywhere for a guy as large as he is. He's quite active.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'2", 318, and he's playing sideline to sideline. And on a nice, cool night like this is when those big guys can really run and not get tired. That's the advantage of playing that night and also in late October. But that's what you want to do. You make the running back cut back, and then you have the big guys come from inside out and make that play, as you saw big 71 Joseph Selders.
3rd and 7 for Florida A&M, leading at 31-28. Pulley under pressure, gets it away. That ball was up in the air for a moment. Adrian Smith had it. It was a free ball for a couple of seconds.
And that was a pretty good throw by Pulley, because if Adrian Smith can make this pass clean, man, look at little Sylvester. This is a small guy. Picks up the blitz, gives Pulley a chance to go across the middle, just can't get it. Tough catch. You had a defender in front of him to kind of blur his vision.
Remember, there have been 2 block punts by Southern so far in this game. There are whistles on the field.
And they were coming again. And why wouldn't you? If you block 2 already, 1 for a safety, you got to keep the punt block team on there all day long.
Timeout, Southern. Their first couple timeouts of the.
Well, William Platt, the punter for Florida A&M, pardon the phrase, was probably rattled just a bit, mindful of the 2 block punts earlier.
But I tell you what, one thing coaches do, they look at film, and they look at film week to week. And if you're FAMU and you're giving up block punts, you're going to keep getting a punt rush every week until you show the rest of the league that we can punt block. And if you can't do that, you're going to just, something's going to have to happen. You got to start blocking some punts, or they'll just keep doing it.
Get all your college football information on ESPNU Monday and Tuesday. First Monday at 7 Eastern, Lowell Galindo, Mike Gottfried, and Tom Luganville deliver Inside the Polls, presented by 76. All season long, we'll break down the polls and dissect the hot topics of the day. Who's overrated, who's underrated, who deserves to be number 1. Then Tuesday at 1 Eastern, Lowell hosts Coaches Spotlight, presented by Liberty Mutual. See and hear how our team is doing straight from the head coach as we bounce around the coaches' press conferences from all around the country. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. So Platt is on to punt for Florida A&M. Dell Roberts is waiting. It's a fake. And it goes nowhere. That was Damian Priester, a junior linebacker from Orlando, with the ball. Didn't seem like it was a particularly well-developed idea.
But it was a pretty decent idea. But look at Gary Blackman, number 25 for Southern University. He just reads and reacts. And if you could have got a block, the FAMU player didn't block him. Had he got that block on Gary Blackman, that's an easy first down. But he's almost 10 yards off, and he just reads and reacts. And look at his great closing speed, and makes a really good open field tackle to turn the ball over for Southern.
It appeared as though Max Purcell, a sophomore tight end, had actually touched the ball first before Priester picked it up. Purcell's number 81. It looked as though the ball actually, he knocked it down, or maybe the long snapper snapped to the wrong player.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a good design, but maybe a poor execution on part of the FAMU special teams unit, but after giving up a couple of block punts, hey, why not go for a fake?
There's Corey McLaughlin, who's the long snapper, and I guess he's thinking about what just happened. 2nd and 8. Southern with the ball, trailing 31-28. Lee. Well, right there defensively was Curtis Holcomb, but the Southern fans want a flag, and it is down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he got there a little early. Curtis Holcomb, he has 3 interceptions on the year, has been playing pretty good defense. Wait for the call.
Pass interference, 24, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Now look at this punt again. The left side of your screen, 81. I don't think he was anticipating that ball. That's Max Purcell.
I don't think that was a fake punt. I just think that the snapper accidentally.
There's a penalty on Holcomb. Back to live action.
Yeah, looking at that fake punt, I think it was more of a botched snap than a fake punt. And the FAMU guy just alertly picked it up and tried to make something good happen.
Well, it's been that kind of night on the special team, so can't be too surprised. Kendrick Smith on that carry didn't get any plus yardage. So now Southern faces a 2nd and 10 at the 34 of Florida A&M.
You know, and Joe Taylor, that's one of the things he prides himself on, is having a very good special team unit. So I know that's something they're going to work out before the next game.
Lee under pressure, gets it away. He gets whacked. His receiver nearly caught it. Another flag is down, and it's Curtis Holcomb once again. He was looking for Jamar Stewart.
Yeah, and Curtis Holcomb is upset. You have to keep you cool in this situation.
First down.
The first one was a pretty easy call by the ref. This one was a closer call. You can see the pressure on Brian Lee. FAMU once again coming with the blitz, and hey, you recognize the one-on-one coverage down the field. I'm going to take a shot. That's exactly what Brian Lee does, but
Cameron Houston just whacked him.
Yeah,
We're here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Our entire ESPNU crew, along with Eddie Robinson Jr. I'm Dwayne Ballin. Florida A&M and Southern University going back and forth right now. Florida A&M leading at 31-28. Southern threatening here in the 3rd quarter. Kendrick Smith, left side, gets out close to the 15-yard line.
We'll see if Southern University can finish off this drive. Of course, they had the 2 big pass interference calls against FAMU to help them. But now you're inside the 20-yard line. Very important to try to get another score on the board because you're down by 3 points.
7:02 remaining in the 3rd quarter here at Mumford Stadium. So far in the red zone, 3 touchdowns, and once they came up short on a goal line stand by Florida A&M. Nice piece of running by Bryant Lee, the quarterback.
Showed a lot of patience. Nothing there was early. It seemed like he wanted to do a quick pitch or an option play and just let everything move ahead of him and just pick this way for an additional 4 or 5 yards.
So it's now 3rd down for Southern, less than a yard. This game has been back and forth. We started at the beginning with the special teams factoring in significantly. Blocked punts, blocked PATs. Southern has called a timeout. Pete Richardson wants to make sure that they are very clear on what happens next.
They're not a bad place for a timeout because it's such an important part of the ball game. You're 3rd and 1 on the 10-yard line. Your team's down by 3. You want to get a really good play, and I would like to think that this play would have to do something with Brian Lee. If it's an option or him running or a rollout, you want to keep the ball in his hands as much as possible.
Log on to your online source for all things college sports, ESPNU.com. This online service will be a gateway to all college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news with an expanded collection of exclusive material, scores, columns, video and audio highlights, podcasts, live streaming games, and much more. Log on to ESPNU.com today. And now ESPNU is available in high definition. To get the great action on ESPNU in high def, contact your local cable operator or satellite provider. ESPNU HD, the big picture in college sports. And the big picture here is that Southern University needs 7 points or 6 at least to regain the lead. Taking on a heated rival in Florida A&M. 3rd down. And Kendrick Smith appears to have the first down.
Big Kendrick Smith, he already has a touchdown this afternoon. He's been very effective just running downhill. Southern just gets in the I formation. There's no fair dodging football. We're just coming straight at you. Can you stop us?
Transfer from Southern Illinois University. There's some movement along the interior line. It appeared to be Demetrius Lane, number 58 of Florida A&M, who jumped the gun. Of course, he will argue he was drawn offsides.
Offsides, 58, defense. Half goal, remains first down.
Keep in mind, this FAMU defense had a big goal line stand in the first half. We'll see if they can do the same thing again. I think they're a little bit more fatigued than they were in the beginning of the football game, but they've been playing some pretty good defense all year, and they've made their plays against Southern University and Bryant Lee tonight.
1st and goal from the 4 for Southern. Lee gave it to Kendrick, who didn't get so far before Marquise Ramos and teammates stopped him.
It seems like Southern is content just to try to pound this football up the middle, but now it's a 2nd down play. Always a great down for play action. So if you're FAMU, you have to be prepared for maybe a rollout or some type of play action by Southern University.
8th play of this drive. Last score, Lee rolled right and torpedoed into the end zone.
Same
rolling
play.
right again.
Wow.
Touchdown. 4-yard scamper for Bryant Lee, and Southern has regained the lead. Now, they had to know that was coming.
Well, you can know it's coming, but can you stop it?
You and I are up here and know it's coming.
But can you stop it? I mean, it's the same play. They run the same play. They run the fake to one tailback, and the other tailback goes to the flat. But when you have a guy like Bryant Lee executing that offense, 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 by the air, 5 touchdowns total by the hands of Bryant Lee.
And 46 yards aggregate rushing for the junior from Butte, Louisiana. Extra point attempt by Josh Duran. There is a marker down on the field near the goal line. So although Durant made good on the PAT, let's hang on and see what the word is from Gregory Edwards.
Defense, citizens decline.
So the point after stands, and Bryant Lee has helped the Jaguars to a 35-31 lead, doing it with his legs on this one. We'll return to Baton Rouge after this.
Introducing Gillette High Performance Shampoo with charged cleansers that power away dirt and oil for an all-day clean. Gillette High Performance Shampoo. Take charge of your hair.
Ground control. We have a problem. Switching to lithium power.
I feel better already.
Extreme power for all of your high-tech devices. Energize.
Southern leading Florida A&M 35-31. Welcome back to ESPNU College Football presented by Citi. Rattlers of Florida A&M and the Southern University Jaguars in a heated rivalry that is as good as billed. Bryant Lee doing the job offensively for Southern.
Bryant Lee, as advertised here, 1 rushing touchdown, also in the air with the going up top the play fake, and you'll see this same play a couple times again, because here it is once again. But when you have a guy like Bryant Lee, you can't tackle him in space. He makes it look so easy. 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns, 5 total. Incredible performance by Bryant Lee. 2 touchdowns, of course, the 1 interception. and also the 3 rushing touchdowns. This guy is incredible. You have to like Southern's chances with him at the quarterback position.
The SWAC's leader in total offense, showing us exactly why he's #1 in that category. Number 7 there, Leroy Van, a very dangerous man, as we pointed out a number of times. When he gets the ball, he does not get the return here. It's taken by a teammate upfield. A little pushing and shoving going on after this 15-yard return. Ball down to the 40-yard line. That's where Florida A&M will take over. If you notice right there, Vernon Wilder and Austin Thomas just, you know, said hello to each other.
But now Vernon Wilder, he's a starting middle linebacker, and what Joe Taylor does, he puts quite a few of his starting players on special teams. He has a very high commitment to special teams, and they've been playing a lot better on special teams this year than the year before, although it may not show up tonight. The whole body of work has been pretty good.
In Joe Taylor's quarterback shuffle system, Eddie Battle, number 8, is now up, leading the Rattlers, and he's passing on first down. Good idea, but Adrian Smith wasn't quite there.
But he definitely had a step or two on the defender, and if he had gotten that ball in the right proximity, we would have definitely had a touchdown by FAMU. Good play action fake on first down. I think the pressure caused that ball just to be a little off target. Of course, that was number 5, Glenn Bell, the physical strong safety by Southern University, putting that pressure on Eddie Battle.
Bell looking for his 2nd sack, no doubt, of the season.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's been quiet tonight, but this guy will hit you if you give him the chance.
4:48 remaining in the 3rd quarter here in Baton Rouge. Florida A&M, can the Rattlers answer the latest salvo by Southern? Battle is feeling pressure. That time he was looking for Elliott, but Southern University's defensive unit is teeing off.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked with head coach Pete Richardson, so we asked him, well, you call different plays or run different defenses for the 2-quarterback system. He said, well, our players have to recognize the different styles of the 2 quarterbacks. So what you're noticing with Eddie Battle in the football game, a guy that's not mobile, a guy that's going to stay in the pocket, Southern University are bringing the pressure. They're bringing the heat on him, and they're forcing him to throw the football before he really wants to.
Another 3rd down situation for the Rattlers. They are 1 for 7 in those scenarios so far this evening. Battle flags down. He's running far right side, dives out of bounds, but a holding call against Florida A&M will bring it back.
Holding, 51, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat 3rd down.
Kwame Ekabila, the junior from Orlando. Really hate calling the offensive lineman's name, though, because they do such a good job usually during the game.
Yeah, we need to do a better job, I think, all announcers, of calling the offensive lineman name when they do a good job and not just when they do something bad, because those guys are definitely the unsung heroes of any football team.
8 penalties for 88 yards, 55 in this quarter for Florida A&M. 3rd and 20. Battle was trying to connect with Kevin Elliott. Toyin Ekinwale was there defensively, so the punting unit will come on for Florida A&M.
Yeah, not much you can do on 3rd and 20. You see Glenn Bell, number 5 in the Jaguar defense. They're just content to play zone coverage and throwing it amongst 3 players. But now you have, once again, the FAMU punt team coming on the field, which has been an adventure. 2 punts blocked. 1 was snapped to the wrong player, so we'll see what happens on this one.
William Platt gets it away to Dell Roberts, who is very dangerous himself with the ball.
Good block.
43-yard punt. Nice coverage for Florida A&M as Holcomb is down to make the tackle. Lace up your skates for college hockey on ESPNU next Sunday. The Boston University Terriers take on the New Hampshire Wildcats. It's a New England battle on the ice. Hockey on ESPNU Sunday at 5 Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Who do you like, Terriers or the Wildcats?
I tell you what, if you have a name like the Terriers, you got to go with the Terrier. That's a feisty little dog right there. So this is a great nickname. I'm going with the nickname.
You heard it here first. Southern University with the ball, leading 35-31. Kendrick Smith on the carry.
And this FAMU defense just starts to have the attrition factor. They've been on the field for quite some time, especially in this second half, because their offense hasn't been able to convert on first downs. I mean, on third down, they're 1 of 7 on third down conversions. That means your defense is going to get overworked. And you can't have a fatigued defense coming into this game against Southern University.
50% on the season in that situation. 2nd and 6. Great defensive work for Florida A&M. Kier Hall was right there to greet Kendrick Smith. He sniffed it out and shut it down.
Yeah,
sophomore from Cocoa Beach.
3 interceptions coming into this game. Those 2 corners, they feel like they can match up in great man-to-man coverage at anybody at this level. And that allows FAMU to put a lot of blitzes and a lot of pressure because they feel like their corners can match up. And you can see these guys aren't just cover guys. They can also tackle extremely well.
5 for 9 on third down conversions are the Jaguars. And Lee's going down hard. Brian Parker gets to him for his 4th sack of the season.
FAMU able to get the pressure. They finally get to Brian Lee. They've been bouncing him around all day long. And you can tell this defense, they get the 3 and out, but they're fatigued. They really need something for their offense. They need a big play, either by number 7, Leroy Van, to return, or they need a big play out of their offense. Get him back in this football game.
So Josh Duran, all SWAC punter, is kicking away to Leroy Van.
Line drive kick is
Boy,
dangerous.
that's a bad thing to do.
Watch out.
There's Van, far sideline. 1 man to beat. Ring up 6 for Leroy Van.
And I knew when he kicked that ball, you don't have a line drive kick to a return guy as dangerous as Leroy Van. That just cannot happen. If you do it, you're going to be having your PAT block team coming on the field because it's going to be a touchdown.
A 66-yard kick, punt return by Van.
And that's all on the punter, because once they get this ball, look, the great blocks down the field by the FAMU return team, but still Leroy Van is too dangerous of a guy to give him a return kick. I mean, he's like, man, this is the easiest one I've had all year. His 4th return for a touchdown.
So Leroy Van does it again. Point after's good. I don't know why anyone would ever kick the ball to him.
Well, if you ask Pete Richardson, he did not tell the punter to kick the ball to Leroy Van like that on the line drive. I promise you, that was a mistake by the punter, and Van took advantage of it.
Time to revisit the E-Rob report. This is something you pointed out. Look at that picture. That's a handsome fella.
What's up with the barcode? What's up with the barcodes on the bottom? Yeah, FAMU, they needed to start fast. They had to contain Brian Lee. Well, he has been a part of 5 touchdowns today, and they had to limit the yards after catch. Their defense have been playing pretty good. But look at Southern University. Established the running game. They've been okay with the running game, mainly because Brian Lee has taken over the running game. They've played well against the 2-quarterback system, but look at the 3rd one. Don't let Leroy Van beat you. They contained him all game long, but now you have a big play, a bad punt by the punter, frankly, and then your return team is not able to contain Leroy Van, and you find yourself down 35-38 at the end of the 3rd quarter.
Interesting thing about Van, Coach Taylor said that he is the first one on the practice field, the last one to leave the practice field. No one outworks number 7 on this team. He is all heart.
Yeah, and this guy has really stepped up as a returner, but he's also a slot guy, so he has a sack on the year, and he also is playing very good defense for the Rattlers.
So Dale Roberts, who has some moves of his own in open field, gets down across the 25-yard line, a 20-yard return for Roberts. And now it's Southern's turn to see if it can answer. We have gone back and forth in this game. Eddie Robinson Jr., my partner here, did not anticipate this type of scoring fest.
Well, I expected the offenses to play well. I thought both of these two defenses were hanging here just a little bit better, but obviously the thing we could not predict was all of the scores on special teams. We've had 3 block punts, punt return for a touchdown, a safety on one of those block punts. I mean, the special teams has been the big factor, and both teams have been good at it.
Kendrick Smith is swallowed up by 6 white jerseys. Leading the way was Demetrius Lane. Series history here. Now the last 2 meetings, so we should have known that that portended something. 50 points to the winner here in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, these guys can put up some points. In the SWAC conference, I mean, they're known for scoring a lot of points. FAMU has always had big-time quarterbacks and receivers, so we shouldn't have been surprised with this scoring fest.
Loss of 2 for the Jaguars on the play. That's Gregory. And just very good defensive work.
I think that punt return for a touchdown really energized this FAMU Rattler defense. They were playing very good in the first quarter or so, and then it seemed like they had a lull, that they kind of just got distracted a little bit. But after that big punt return, they're re-energized, and they're out there playing hard. Great stop on 2nd down. Now you force Southern University, you put them in a 3rd and long situation.
3rd and 11 to be exact for the Jaguars. Lee has time to throw and overthrows his intended receiver, who was Roberts.
And Alvis Graham, number 41, did a good job from his linebacker position, dropping back in deep coverage, frustrating Lee, then give him a window to complete that pass.
If you notice, Lee motioned in the direction of Roberts. I think he expected for Roberts to do a hitch across the middle and go.
Yeah, he expected him to keep going, and he stopped. Because the linebacker dropped deep into coverage, he needed him to go to the next window, and that's where he should have went in that zone coverage, and he didn't.
Now, do you think Durant is going to punt anywhere in the direction of Van this
He
time?
better not come back to Pete Richardson's sideline if he does. Oh, it's a fake. What a gutsy call.
Well, Pete Richardson pulls one out of his back pocket when we're all consumed with Leroy Van and what he may or may not do. A 12-yard pickup, and Toyin Akinwale comes up with a big play, and Josh Duran, the punter, getting high fives.
Well, he redeems himself after that last punt for a touchdown. Man, who runs a fake on their own 25-yard line? Only Pete Richardson can pull this off with great execution. Look at the stretch for the 1st down.
I can play quarterback too, Coach Richardson. So Southern's drive remains alive. We're in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Lee looking for Stewart across the middle, who had to go up and try to get it. There is a marker down. It appears as though there's going to be interference called on Florida A&M.
Yeah, quite a few pass interference calls in this FAMU defense. They've been very aggressive. Like the signal was a personal foul call. That's what the field judge.
Field judge is Anthony Fleming.
That's the hand signal he gave to the referee. We'll see if that is indeed the call. It would be a big break for Southern University at the end of this 3rd quarter. That's a pretty long consultation.
Want to get this right.
There's no penalty on the play. 2nd down.
Hence the long deliberation.
Yeah, and I felt like that was the call because the field judge was giving his explanation to the referee. Of course, the referee relies on the different members of his team to get the call correct. And he felt like under that situation, it should not have been a personal foul. That was the original hand signal that the field judge gave.
And maybe that ball really wasn't even catchable. So that could have something to do with the deliberation and the decision not to make a call. Lee goes down on a sack. Brian Parker, his 2nd sack of the evening, his 5th of the season. And we are done with 3 quarters here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Southern University, led by Bryant Lee, has 35, but Florida A&M, led by Leroy Van, has 38. Hang on, an exciting 4th quarter when we come back.
Imagine eliminating your monthly phone bill forever. How much could you save?
We're talking about big savings right here. We're talking about $100, $200, $300 a year. Did I get your attention? Let me keep going. How about $400, $500 a year? How about $600 a year? How about $700?
38-35, Florida A&M leading Southern as we are set to begin the fourth quarter here in Baton Rouge. That man, the coach, is Juan Vasquez, who has played a prominent role in this series, in particular last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is 2000.
Yeah, he kicked the game-winning field goal to defeat the Southern Jaguars, so we'll see if he can put some of that magic on the rest of his players.
He is a special teams coach for Joe Taylor, and to say the least, he's been active this evening. So we start the fourth quarter here in Baton Rouge with Eddie Robinson Jr., our entire ESPNU crew. This game has been back and forth. Bryant Lee's pass is complete to Stewart, but it doesn't go for very much as Jason Beach was right there to sniff it out. So that brings on the punting unit.
Yeah, good job by that FAMU defense, once again forcing the punt by the Southern Jaguars. And of course, when the punt team comes on, you have the always dangerous Leroy Van. He's already returned one for a touchdown. We'll see what happens on this one.
Last time we saw this punting unit of Southern, they pulled one out of their back pocket and picked up a first down. This time Durant kicks it away. Van will field it on the hop. Flags are flying, and he's still on his feet. Finally, he's grabbed and brought down by Gerald Stewart.
He is such a very exciting, entertaining returner. I mean, every time you think you have him wrapped up, he makes something else happen.
44-yard punt.
Block in the back, 14, return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So Florida A&M will start deeper in a hole. There is the illegal block in the back. That's Damian Priester.
You know, this is one of those situations when you have such a talented return guy like Leroy Van, you tell your blockers, hey, there's no need to block in the back. He's going to make a person or two miss. Just be fair and block correctly, because you don't want a punt call back after he makes a terrific play.
Number 11 now in at quarterback for Florida A&M. That's Curtis Pulley. Again, Joe Taylor employs a shuttle system with his quarterbacks. Each has a series, no matter what the scenario in the game. Pulley, who runs well.
We'll see if Southern University and Pete Richardson changes up his defensive scheme. They brought a lot of pressure on the last series. Of course, that was because Eddie Battle was in the game. Now, with a guy like Pulley that's a talented runner, you have to be careful if you're blitzing in a certain direction, because if he gets around the corner, he can really do damage to your defense.
Pickup of 9 for Pulley. High snap, he handles it, takes off again. This time, the Jaguars were ready for him defensively. Vincent Lands leading the charge, number 33. We talked about him, the all-conference performer for Southern, has been very active. What an outstanding young man this is. We spoke earlier, he's already graduated, folks, with his undergrad degree in biology, ready to go to medical school, and has time enough to be an all-conference performer on the football field.
Started his career as a walk-on.
Room up the middle for Levante Page, who had an impressive first half. Haven't heard much from him here in the second half.
I tell you, this Southern defense, they're going to have to step up and make some plays, because FAMU, of course, you have the running quarterback in the game, Curtis Pulley, who can also throw. Trust me, Joe Taylor has no problem with running some time off of this clock with a strong running game.
2nd and 3. Pulley tucks it away, and he has the first down.
defensively, you have to have some awareness to realize, even though they may get into a shotgun formation, or even though it may seem like a pass formation, what they're really trying to do is spread your defense out so your quarterback can run the quarterback draw. And he does it very effectively. He's a very patient runner, very talented runner, so once he gets a crease, he can really make things happen.
"11 runs, 108 yards rushing for Pulley."
Be a good time for a play action on first down.
Florida A&M elects to take a timeout. Make sure everyone's on the same page. Get all your college football information on ESPNU Monday and Tuesday. First Monday at 7 Eastern, Lowell Galindo, Mike Gottfried, and Tom Luganville deliver Inside the Polls presented by 76. All season long, we'll break down the polls and dissect the hot topics of the day. Who's overrated? Who's underrated? Who deserves to be #1? Then Tuesday at 1 Eastern, Lowell hosts Coach's Spotlight, presented by Liberty Mutual. See and hear how our team is doing straight from the head coach as we bounce around coaches' press conferences from all around the country. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. About 30,000 of our close friends have decided to join us here on this beautiful fall evening in southern Louisiana. Florida A&M and Southern University going back and forth. 38-35, the Rattlers, and something of a surprise leading the way. By any measure so far, this has been a very successful first year for Joe Taylor in Tallahassee.
Yeah, Joe Taylor, I mean, he's really taken control of this football team just from the offset in the spring and has really put his footprint on it.
Rattlers with first down at the 46-yard line.
There's the play action.
Pulley gets away from a defender and very nearly collects another first down. Very close to it.
That's what makes a guy like him so dangerous. Because
but here's what I don't understand again. You know this is coming. You have to adjust defensively.
Well, they made the adjustment on defensively because they did stop the play action. I mean, the guy was not open down the field, but after that, it's a matter of rallying around defensively to get him on the ground. I mean, they had him in the hands, but you just can't tackle a guy. He's just as talented as a Brian Lee when it comes to his running ability. You may have him in position to make the tackle, but if you can't make the play, once again, he scampers for another 10-yard gain.
Transferred from Kentucky, came in, had a lot to learn, and is still learning. The coaches told us there are a lot of things that he does because he simply just has a very good feel for it. And as you noted earlier, Eddie Battle, number 8, his battery mate, who shuttles with him, has more command of the offense when it comes to its particulars and running it precisely. But Pulley is so effective, just doing the right thing at the right moment.
Just an instinctive player.
2nd and 1. Good time for play action. Here it is. Great defensive work. By Joe Manning.
Yeah, on 2nd and 1, if you're a cornerback, you have to know that it's a good time for the offense. Let's just try to take a shot deep. Just throw one up and see if they can make a play. Southern University was there, so now you have a 3rd and inches. Wouldn't be surprised if they run a quarterback sneak or something to that effect. I would really like to see the ball staying in Curtis Pulley's hand in this situation.
Eddie Robertson Jr. asked for it, and it is granted. Pulley picks up the first down for Florida A&M.
This offensive line, they've had a couple holding penalties today, but overall they've been playing pretty well. Been blocking well on the running plays and letting the quarterbacks get time to pass. They've only given up 9 sacks coming into this football game.
Anthony Collins, Robert Okafor, Steve Brazel, Kwame Akabili, and Javier Wallace. There, we call their names for doing a good job.
Good job. They're moving the chains.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of Southern. Dexter James leading the defensive charges.
FAMU has really quieted the crowd. A couple good, strong running plays. Of course, Pulley pulling the ball down and making some big plays also. And
Rushing yards for Florida A&M is one way to do that with 156 to 72.
And the Southern defense, they'll have to step up and try to stop this running attack by FAMU, but also be aware that Curtis Pulley can still throw down the field.
Pulley with 120 yards rushing this evening. Little razzle-dazzle from the Rattlers.
He's open.
Pulley's open. The quarterback with moves. He's going to ring up 6. Florida A&M pulling everything out of its hat. 41-yard play, and it's the quarterback on the receiving end of that score.
Great call, and I'm going to tell you why, because it was a very normal drive. I mean, it was nothing exciting about that drive. It was just a couple running plays here, a couple running plays there. You kind of lull the defense to sleep, and all of a sudden, you come up with a reverse throwback to the quarterback when no one's really expecting it. Great time for that call by Joe Taylor.
Touchdown pass goes to Kevin Elliott, number 5. So a reversal of roles there. Usually it's Elliott receiving from Pulley, but this time the receiver returned the favor. So the Rattlers are having fun in Baton Rouge. They lead it by 10.
Big arms, a ripped chest, and cut abs with the perfect push-up. Now with free shipping. The perfect push-up works with the natural rotation of your arms and shoulders to maximize results and minimize stress on your body. With the perfect push-up, your hands, arms, and shoulders rotate 90 degrees, just like in a punch. All the energy of the push-up is captured and transmitted right where you want it, to the muscles. There's no wasted effort, just muscle-building movement. And as your arms rotate, you feel it work in your biceps, your triceps, your chest and abs, and your shoulders. Invented by a U.S. Navy SEAL and made with steel and a ball-bearing movement, it's the push-up perfected. So here's the deal. The perfect push-up is only 2 payments of $19.95. When you order, you'll...
Pulley, number 11, the quarterback, caught himself a touchdown pass. He's all smiles. Florida A&M leading Southern by 10. With 11 minutes remaining here in regulation in Baton Rouge. That last drive, 9 plays, 82 yards, 3 minutes, 43 seconds. And the receiver Elliott to the quarterback Pulley for the 41-yard touchdown play. There are a few Rattler faithful here who made the trip up from Tallahassee.
I'll tell you what, they're being rewarded with a very exciting and energetic performance by FAMU Rattlers. I mean, they've had to overcome a lot. They've had 2 punts blocked, a safety, but they've also responded on special teams with a big return for a touchdown. Some very big offensive plays.
It'll be interesting to see what Southern has left in its offensive tank. You do not think this is over by any stretch. It should be noted. Roberts fields it at the 15. And on the coverage there, doing a great job, Kevin Elliott, the same man who threw the touchdown pass.
And that's one thing we talked about. They put starters on special teams. Now, Kevin Elliott is your starting wide receiver. He leads your team with 29 catches. You just saw him throw the pass on the big play, on the trick play right there. But now he comes right back and covers a kick and makes a big hit. Wow. And that's good. I mean, you don't see many starting receivers covering kicks and making those type of plays, do you?
Not often. Not after especially throwing a 41-yard touchdown on the previous play. So Bryant Lee and his Southern University offensive mates have to muster and get an answer. Lee looking for something, has a man across the middle. Look out, it's Roberts. The fireworks continue in Baton Rouge. A 76-yard strike.
And I just looked outside the stadium. I saw a whole bunch of red brake lights, and that's people coming back in because they were starting to leave out of here after falling down by 10. But, man, you're talking about an answer. Bryant Lee with the big touchdown pass to Dale Roberts and some nifty running afterwards. And Jaguars Southern, they can cut this lead back to 3 points, and we may be here all night, partner.
This is a fun game.
If you like offense and you like scoring, absolutely.
Don't blink, you might miss a score. Extra point from Durant is good. And the differential is just 3. 45-42, Florida A&M now leading with 10:46 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Pete Richardson wastes no time. Brian Lee, man, with the pass to Dale Roberts. One person had a chance to get him, but no, not today. 3 catches, 149 yards, and 1 touchdown for Dale Roberts and Brian Lee. What is that, his 4th touchdown pass today? He also has 2 running.
That's one way to get it done. Southern University will not go quietly into this good Baton Rouge night. Here at Mumford Stadium, along with our entire ESPNU crew, Eddie Robinson Jr. and Dwayne Fallon, Florida A&M, and Southern University, one of the best rivalries in all of college football. They just renewed it last year after a 6-year break, and this has been as good as advertised. Number 16 there, 21 of 37, 357 yards passing, and a trio of touchdowns. This man, number 7, Leroy Van, already has electrified the crowd with 1 punt return for a touchdown. And now he has an opportunity to return a kick.
Kick it right to him. We'll see.
He fields it at the 13-yard line, right up the middle.
Oh, there he
and
goes.
Finds a hole. There goes number 7. Up the sidelines. A man of a million moves is finally knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line. A 60-yard return, and I ask again, why would you ever kick the ball to him?
Well, ask me one more time. Maybe I can come up with an answer, because this guy is simply amazing. But a great job by the special team, and they're running that middle wedge to perfection. It's man on man, and once you get him into the open field, so dangerous, there's no way a kicker can take him down. He did slow him down and let the other guys catch him, but that is quite a returner that you have there in Mr. Van.
And folks, this is just not a return man. He's one of their top defensive players, one of their top tacklers. He is active on every aspect of the field when he's out there.
Come on, Kevin!
Flags come down. Curtis Pulley, number 11, is the quarterback for Florida A&M. Early indications are the infraction was committed by Florida A&M.
Block in the back, 61, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That's going to go against Javier Wallace, the junior offensive lineman from Austin, Texas.
That's
10 penalties, 108 yards for Florida A&M so
and that's
far.
a spot foul, so now to make it 1st and 11. So not too damaging from a penalty standpoint for FAMU Rattlers on that play.
Ball at the 28-yard line of Southern. Pulley does like to run, gets away from a defender. There is a marker down in the backfield. Pulley scores, but it may not count.
Now, one thing we didn't notice, partner, is that it should have been Eddie Battle's turn to come in here for his possession, but now they stay with Pulley, who's been the hot guy, mainly because of his legs. So that going every other quarterback, sometimes you got to go with who's cooking.
Holding, 73, offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So Joe Taylor and his offensive coordinator Lawrence Kershaw have made the decision that they are going to keep number 11 out there on this series when, according to their game plan, as you noted, Eddie Battle, number 8, is up.
Well, I tell you what, game plans change. You don't win 201 games like Coach Taylor does by not knowing how to change a game plan. Sometimes you have to go with the hot guy, and right now Southern has their hands full trying to stop Mr. Curtis Pulley.
With the penalty, backs up the Rattlers to the 39-yard line of Southern. 21 to go for a first down. Pulley's going to the air, has a man open. Touchdown, Florida A&M. Right back at you, 39-yard strike.
Curtis Pulley doing it on the ground and now doing it in the air. He throws a touchdown. He also caught a touchdown. And now Adrian Smith with his second touchdown on the day. What an offensive explosion by both of these football teams.
It's funny because just a few moments ago, I thought in the third quarter that we had settled in the early part of the fourth quarter and we were going to have a more conventional game where they slugged it out.
Well, it was like that for maybe a series or two, but once they came back with the play that went back with the pass to Curtis Pulley, now it's wide open once again.
Curtis Pulley does it this time by air. 6 more for Florida A&M. They're up by 10.
Make a U-turn as soon as possible. Make a U-turn as soon as possible.
Okay.
Turn right.
ESPNU College Football Prime Time is presented by Citi. Whatever your story is, your Citi card can help you write it, because Citi never sleeps. And apparently neither does the offensive unit for Florida A&M. The Rattlers have rung up 52 points against Southern, but the Jaguars, not to be outdone, have 42. Curtis Pulley doing it on air, on the ground. He's even caught a touchdown pass.
He's done it all, but I just got a memo that when the teams combine for over 100 points, everybody gets free chili dogs. So they better get them ready down there, because these guys are sitting at 94 points right now, and I don't think the scoring is done.
Dale Roberts, another dangerous return man, fields it at the 8-yard line for Southern. Up the sideline and runs out of real estate. 32-yard return. So now Bryant Lee, number 16, will lead the Jaguars offensive unit back out onto the field. They're down by 10 with 9:50 remaining in regulation.
Well, like I said when we were at this point 5 minutes ago, I still don't think it's over. I think Bryant Lee, from what we've seen today, why wouldn't you think he can come out here and put a couple more points on the board? But Southern University just hasn't been able to play enough defense to give the Jaguars the edge in this game.
Lee having an exceptional night, 356 yards passing. Career best is 373. Miscommunicates with White, but there's a good chance that Lee is going to set that career passing mark tonight. That last drive by Florida A&M, 2 plays, 28 yards, 38 seconds, 39-yard pass play to Smith from Pulley, and that was after 20 yards of penalties.
Yeah, of course, that was set up by the big kickoff return by number 7, Leroy Van. He's been a factor today, and he's also been playing pretty good on defense. I mean, this guy's just a pretty good all-around player.
You know, if you're Bryant Lee there, number 16, you're thinking, I can keep answering, but they have 2 guys they're throwing at me. High snap. Lee tucks it away and is going to run with it. Eludes one defender, has a first down, still moving, and is knocked out of bounds by Leroy Van, and flags fly.
Yeah, but you know what? He was still in bounds. Bryant Lee did not clearly go out of bounds, so I think that hit was a warranted hit.
14-yard pickup on the play. Face mask is the call.
Was the call. Okay. Well, now that is illegal. You can't do that.
Face mask, 97 defense, 15 yards. First down.
So Kendrick Washington, the sophomore from Sebastian River, Florida, got his hand in the wrong place.
Bryant Lee's just doing a good job of weaving through traffic, and you can see here at the end of the run, right there. And he actually uses the tackle him with, so that's definitely a 15-yarder.
Penalties 12 for 133 yards for Florida A&M, just 4 for 25 yards for Southern. But A&M leads. That's Javaris Stewart with the catch. Another first down for Southern.
Yeah, Jamar Stewart, this guy's been the big play receiver all year long for Southern. He's been kind of quiet in a huge scoring game. You would think he would have done more. Came into the game with 39 receptions and 8 touchdowns, leading the conference. Look for him to make some big plays before this game is over. A lot of time left for this Jaguar offense.
13-yard pickup for Bryant Lee and his teammates. They trail it by 10. We're approaching the 9-minute mark. Lee under pressure, gets it away to Stewart again. This time, great defensive work. Greg Harvey was right there.
That was one of the keys to the keys of the game to FAMU's defense. They had to tackle well on the edges because Southern has a number of receivers that will make 5- and 10-yard catches turn into 70- and 80-yard touchdowns. So they've been doing a very good job of making tackles on the perimeter of the defense when the Jaguars try to pass it out to those very talented wide receivers.
Actually, a loss of a couple of yards. Ball at the 20-yard line, 2nd down. Lee has a man open. That's Kendrick Smith, the running back out of the backfield.
Florida
Pickup
A&M,
of 13.
Yeah, Florida A&M just a little bit too soft in zone coverage. I mean, they're dropping back and they're taking away the deep routes. Yeah, look at Lee here. He looks left, he pumps a little, he looks right, then he goes and makes the right decision and finds a wide open Kendrick Smith coming out of the backfield. When you have a talented guy like Brian Lee, he's going to find an open guy. You can't just sit back in zone coverage. He'll make the right decision.
Good enough for a 1st down. 1st and goal at the 8 for Southern. Lee keeps it.
What a determined guy.
Heck of a run. Right down to point-blank range, setting up 2nd and inches for Southern for 6.
This kid will give up his body for the program. He plays at a very high level, just an ultra-competitive guy, not a rah-rah type player, just leads by example.
Came into this game 5th in rushing, and now he has career highs. You saw the numbers. 380 yards passing. They keep it on the ground on 2nd down. And the Florida A&M defensive unit, which at that very spot earlier in the game put up a 4-down goal line stand, is looking to do it again.
Yeah, they played tough all game. I mean, the score may not indicate it, but these guys have been playing some very tough football. We'll see if they can't stop the Jaguars once again on the 1-inch line. You have to keep the ball in Brian Lee's hand, in my opinion.
So that's your call, Coach Robinson?
Oh, quarterback
sneak.
3 times in a row.
2nd man through. Kendrick Smith does not get into the end zone.
That's a great defensive play by FAMU because it looked like he had an opening, but they closed fast to the hole.
There is a player down for Southern.
Look at Wilder coming downhill. Man, what a great tackle on him, number 44. Denying Southern once again on 3rd down, and it seems like the Jaguars have an injured player. Indeed.
Miles Williams appeared to injure a lower extremity. Williams, a senior from Morristown, New Jersey. Right tackle.
This may be the ball game because you're down by 10 points if you're Southern. With only 6 minutes and 45 seconds yet to play, you still need 2 scores.
Well, clearly you go for it. Once again, you're calling for Bryant Lee to keep it.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm either going to roll him out or run a quarterback draw or an option, but I definitely want him to make that decision.
They are 1 for 2 on 4th down conversions. Remember, in the 1st quarter, there was this scenario.
Yep.
And Florida A&M stopped them cold. Can Southern get back into the end zone and keep this seesaw affair going?
That was 2nd and 3rd effort because I did not think he was in the end zone.
This time, the Rattlers break through on 4th down from point-blank range.
What a determined run. I mean, these young men, these kids, these student athletes, they're really putting it on the field today. They're laying it out on the line. One of the greatest rivalries in all of college football, and reunited once again, and we can see why.
Kendrick.
That was number 38, Alvin Fosselman.
Alvin Fosselman, who's 5'10", 265 pounds. So you can understand why he was put in for that play.
Only had 2 rushes coming into this football game.
Extra point is good from Duran. And it's game on, 52-49, 6:38 remaining in the 4th here in Baton Rouge.
Sunday, live Sunday, October 26th on the Right TV pay-per-view.
Florida A&M leading Southern 52-49. Eddie Robinson Jr., whatever your pleasure is, we've given it to you tonight.
Well, you know, I'm an old defensive guy. I'm not used to all of these big plays, but here, a block punt by FAMU early in the football game leads to a score. Southern not to be outdone. Hey, we're going to block your punt too, and we're going to get 2 points out of it and get a safety. And then Brian Lee throwing a very rare interception for him. He only had 2 coming into this football game, and then Mr. Leroy Van. He's definitely put his footprint on this football game. You kick me a line drive punt, I'm going to take it right back into your living room for the touchdown. The Jaguars, they come back. Pete Richardson on his own 20-yard line on 4th down. He fakes the punt and gets the 1st down. But then a little bit of razzle-dazzle here with the touchdown. Going back to number 11, Curtis Pulley. He finishes off, makes people miss and gets into the end zone. And the answer to that, Brian Lee, another touchdown to Dale Roberts, number 1 with some nifty running after the catch for the long score. Southern Jaguars answer, and that leads to a 52-49 score. They've combined for 101 points tonight. You ever seen a game like this?
And we're not done yet, partner. Leroy Van is back there, number 7.
Don't kick it to him.
They squib it.
There you go. He still gets it.
He still gets it. Right up the middle of his face. And he's whacked. Allen Ball. That's Justin Fletcher, number 59, Justin Fletcher.
Yeah, Justin Fletcher from Houston, Texas. And that's how you put an end to a talented punt returner and kick returner who's been running through your whole team. And that got the whole crowd excited. I know they were saying, well, somebody please hit this little number 7 who's killing the Jaguars. This game has it all. 14 touchdowns, a safety, 3 block punts, drop total on a PAT interception, fumbles lost, 101 points scored with 6 minutes to go in the game.
Pulley still in at quarterback for Florida A&M. Flags are down on the field. So have we seen the last of Eddie Battle in this shuttle system of Joe Taylor's? He scrapped it, I take it.
I tell you what, this Curtis Pulley is a hot guy, and you got to have a quarterback that's going to answer all of the big scoring plays by Bryant Lee, and Pulley seems more up to the task today.
Offense.
Holding called on Florida A&M. So the Rattlers now are protecting a 3-point lead. 52-49 here in Baton Rouge. 6:30 remaining in regulation. With our entire ESPNU crew and Eddie Robinson Jr., I'm Dwayne Ballin. This one is as good as advertised. There have been fireworks. No one's been out of this one. Curtis Pulley, number 11, in at quarterback for Florida A&M. Total yards, staggering offensive production on the part of both teams. And we're not done yet. 1st and 20 from the 29-yard line. Pulley. And they were ready for him this time. The Jaguars defensive unit was ready. Dexter James, big number 70, leading the way.
Yeah, and 71, Joseph Selders. This guy has just played a whale of a football game. He's been running out on wide receiver screens. He's been making stops up the middle. This guy is 6'2", 318. A nice, cool night like this, he can run all night, and he's been making plays.
So Eddie Battle, number 8. Is he done for the evening? If so, those are his numbers. We told you earlier that they rotate every series quarterbacks. But the last few series, number 11 has been the man, Eddie Robinson Jr.
Yeah, I mean, you got to go with the hot guy.
As a man out of the backfield. That's Philip Sylvester.
Yeah,
and Glenn Bell was there defensively for Southern.
Philip Sylvester, he hasn't been used a whole lot tonight, but man, look at the speed of this guy. It's a lot of speed down in Florida. The guy turns that corner, good blocking downfield, and he's a step away from breaking that one.
He appeared to be limping just a bit. So if you're Eddie Battle, are you thinking that, hey, I hope this isn't a trend?
That's exactly what you have to be thinking, but I mean, he's such a team player. The biggest thing is you want your team to win the football game. You can figure that out tomorrow.
Under 5 minutes remaining in regulation. On 3rd down, Pulley to the air. Ball tipped up and intercepted. John Malveaux, the all-conference performer, comes up with the pick.
I tell you what, the Jaguar faithful, the human jukebox playing in the background, they're excited. Curtis Pulley, his first real mistake of the day. He surveys the field and he double clutches and he throws it behind the receiver. He had the guy open. With the double clutch, you draw so much attention. And Jonathan Malveaux, great job of picking off that ball with the interception. And the Southern Jaguars are in business once again.
I got to tell you, folks, a few moments ago when it was 52-42 Florida A&M, my partner here told me this game was not over, and don't be surprised if Southern comes back and wins it. Left side on the ground. Kendrick Smith, first down for the Jaguars. Flags are down. Maybe coming back.
Yeah, spot foul. Looked like it's going to be holding on the play, but man, that was some very good blocking by the Southern Jaguars.
Holding, number 1, offense, repeat first down.
It's the receiver, Dale Roberts, trying to get in on the action and help Smith.
Yeah, a lot of these receivers, they're required to block, and they, just trying to make a play for your ball club, which is it's not something you do all the time. And Pete Richardson, man, he has 167 wins. Coach Joe Taylor has 201 wins. I bet all of those wins and all of the games that's in behind the receiver. He had the guy open. With the double clutch, you draw so much attention. And Jonathan Malveaux, great job of picking off that ball with the interception. And the Southern Jaguars are in business once again.
I got to tell you, folks, a few moments ago when it was 52-42 Florida A&M, my partner here told me this game was not over, and don't be surprised if Southern comes back and wins it. Left side on the ground. Kendrick Smith, first down for the Jaguars. Flags are down. Maybe coming back.
Yeah, spot foul. Looked like it's going to be holding on the play, but man, that was some very good blocking by the Southern Jaguars.
Holding, number 1, offense, repeat first down.
It's the receiver, Dale Roberts, trying to get in on the action and help Smith.
Yeah, a lot of these receivers, they're required to block, and they, just trying to make a play for your ball club, which is it's not something you do all the time. And Pete Richardson, man, he has 167 wins. Coach Joe Taylor has 201 wins. I bet all of those wins and all of the games that they've coached in together, they haven't seen something like this. They really have their teams playing today. It's just a very entertaining football game for the fans.
So it's 1st and 15 for Southern. Lee out of the shotgun, already with a career night. Looking for more. Keeps it on the ground. Brian Parker tracks him down.
I think that's the difference when you look at a Brian Lee compared to both of the quarterbacks, Curtis Pulley and Eddie Battle. Here's a guy that can do it in the air and on the ground. You don't have to go with one guy to the other. If no one's open downfield, very effective runner, Brian Lee.
2nd and long. Lee with time, has a man across the middle. Touchdown! Ball's on the ground, fumble. Florida A&M dodges a bullet and recovers a fumble. Fabian Wilson with the recovery.
Brian Lee once again setting back the pass, going to the post as he has done so often tonight. Dale Robertson, wow. Put your hat right on the football on the 1-yard line. That is a great defensive play by FAMU. And they come back there with the recovery. These guys are playing some lights out, rock'em sock'em football. But now FAMU is pinned back in their own end zone at the 3-yard line.
So Florida A&M with Pulley at quarterback still, gets the ball deep in its own territory. 3:25 remaining in regulation. The Rattlers hanging on to a 3-point lead. they dodged a bullet there because Roberts' momentum was carrying him into the end zone.
Yeah, but it was just a huge defensive play by FAMU. This defense has been stepping up. They had the goal line stand. They've got some turnovers. Look at Curtis Pulley's numbers, 12 of 15, 162 yards, and also 14 carries for 117 yards, not to mention he's also caught a touchdown.
You think he'll be in the whirlpool tomorrow? Second down and 12.
Watch for the quarterback draw.
As a tight end, Taj Jenkins across the middle, a bit of breathing room. It's third down and short for Florida A&M. Well, actually, relatively short, looking at about 2 yards.
That was a huge play. I mean, that throw and catch, it gives you some breathing room out of your end zone. Now you have your offense opened up. You have a guy like Curtis Pulley. You have the run pass option. You can run quarterback draw. You can drop him back, or you can hand it off. Jaguar defense has to be prepared for everything in this situation.
What are the chances number 11 will keep it and run?
I'm the coach. He keeps it.
Second man through. He didn't get the first down. Southern's defensive unit steps up to the task.
Joe Manning.
Now, why is Southern taking a timeout there?
Well, they're just trying to stop the clock. We only have 1:54 left, so they don't want.
Now, why is Southern taking a timeout there?
Well, they're just trying to stop the clock. We only have 1:54 left, so they don't want FAMU just to let that clock run. They want as much time as they can. I mean, I know Bryant Lee can score in one play, but you want to give him as much time as he possibly can. But 2 block punts already for the Southern Jaguars, so a very treacherous situation here for FAMU. They really needed to convert that third down.
Let's take a look at tonight's leading man, brought to you by the movie Soul Men. And there are a lot of candidates, but it's number 16, Bryant Lee.
Absolutely. I mean, how can you go with anyone else but Bryant Lee? You see the rushing touchdown here once again. He fakes it. He gets the passing touchdown. I mean, he's been all over the place. Those are little short ones. Fakes once again, makes the guy miss another rushing touchdown. I mean, it's the same plays, but the guy at the trigger is just so amazing. 471 total yards, 6 total touchdowns. Who else could you go with? He could possibly have over 500 yards of offense if Southern gets the ball back.
He might have
and look at this decision with FAMU going for it on 4th down.
Very interesting call. 4th and 1. Ball game on the line. There's a pile up. It's going to depend upon the spot.
I think the extra effort may have got him over the mark. We'll see. The second lunge. What a gutsy call by Joe Turley. Man, you're on your own 13-yard line, but he doesn't want to give the ball back to Bryant Lee.
Takes a certain amount of fortitude to make that decision.
Well, you might as well take your chances with your offense as opposed to if Bryant Lee gets this football, it's a good chance he scores.
You're going to measure it.
This is the ball game, Southern. There's no timeouts.
First down, Florida A&M, and that may very well have sealed it.
What a gutsy call. But you know what? I like Joe Taylor, and I like him making that football call because you've already had 2 punts blocked. So you may not even get the punt off, but even if you get it off, do you really want to sit here and watch Bryant Lee have a chance to end the game? Why not put it in your offensive line's hand? Why not put it in your talented quarterback's hand, Curtis Pulley, and let him win the football game for you on that 4th down play like you did?
Pulley under center. Second man through is stopped. And now it's a matter of the clock just winding down. Nothing Southern can do about stopping the clock.
What about that big defensive play by this FAMU defense? Turned out to be the game winner when Dale Roberts had the go-ahead touchdown at the 1-yard line. You're talking about putting your hat on the football. making a play for your team to win your ball game on the road. Man, what a great game and a great effort by both of these football teams.
Barring a Meadowlands nightmare, Eagles and the Giants.
And I don't know why they're not taking the knee. We're not even going to ask that. But
Southern will drop to 4-3. Florida A&M will improve to 5-2. Next up for Florida A&M, a trip to Norfolk State to take on the Spartans at homecoming. For Southern, they're at Prairie View A&M.
Southern, they have to get focused for that game next week, because that Prairie View A&M game could very well decide the West. Of course, Grambling is undefeated in SWAC division play, and Prairie View only has one loss.
Joe Taylor signaling,
take a knee.
Take a knee, and let's get out of here.
Hard-earned victory by these Florida A&M Rattlers. Give them credit. This is a tough place to play. Coming on the road in a great tradition that has been renewed. And man, I hope they can play this game every year.
Rattler football, folks, is back, and Joe Taylor is leading the way. Florida A&M comes into Baton Rouge, wins it 52-49, a shootout. Very spirited.
This telecast is available in high definition. Brought to you by Pioneer's new Kuro.
2 games in Week 9 are certain to clear up some BCS confusion. Ohio State and Penn State. Winner might take all and more in the Big Ten. And how about Texas and Oklahoma State in the Big